What is up, everybody? Welcome to Speak Now Pro Wrestling. It's your girl, Denise Salcedo, and I am joined by Santi Zap. Santi, how are you, man?
Fiend, fiend, fiend,
Why
fiend,
did you do
fiend,
this to
fiend,
me?
fiend, 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 fiend. Well, before the show started, you said that you didn't have a stupid song stuck in your head, so I had to change it. I'm doing great. How are you
No.
doing?
I'm fighting it. I'm fighting it. It's like a disease. I've taken my vitamins, and that song will not be in my head, okay? Any other song but that one. Santi, we had a pretty interesting episode of Monday Night Raw today, I would say. We had some qualifiers, some new two people qualified for Money in the Bank. We had perhaps a little bit of a spoiler for what may be going down over on the Worlds Collide side of things. And some interesting stuff with Seth Rollins and Braun Breaker and Bronson Reed and all of this. So I think we should get started with, let's get started with that. Honestly, I'm trying to figure out which direction I want to go into, but I think we'll get started with that, Santi. So closing out of the show, well, actually, let's start with the beginning because at the beginning we had the Seth Rollins promo, and I'm going to be this person, Santi. I did not like Seth Rollins' promo at the start of the show. I thought it was a whole lot of nothing. And there was one thing that I did like, though, because I had been calling for Bronson Reed to be part of this group now for a while. And I was so thrilled when he did join at Saturday night's main event. But I also loved the way that Paul Heyman put him over in this for being part of everything that he did to Seth Rollins in the past, all of the tsunamis, taking him out, getting a win over Seth Rollins, and basically all of the back and forth. Great stuff. Everything else, though, in this promo, I thought to myself, why is this going so long? Did you feel that way at all, or did you feel differently?
I definitely felt like it dragged. I clocked it in at 20 minutes was that opening segment, which is pretty long, and I'm fine with segments going long if they warranted, but this definitely felt artificially inflated. Now, I love the Paul Heyman stuff, what he's gassing up with Braun Breaker, Bronson Reed, introducing him into the group, talking about like the history between Bronson Reed and Seth Rollins, how he came to be, and ultimately like why they decided to bring him into the group. I like that stuff. The Seth Rollins stuff definitely felt stretched for time. I definitely felt like they were making it last longer. But what I did like about it was basically Seth Rollins just playing the crowd. That's basically what he did. He had the crowd hating him, loving him, hating him, loving him, making him bounce from you sold out to whoa, to F you Rollins, back to the whoa. Like it was all over the place. Even the crowd didn't really have much of a direction with what was happening there with Seth Rollins. But I mean, like to me, the most important thing that they nailed was the introduction of Bronson Reed. That was the most important part of this segment, and having Paul Heyman deliver that was the right way to introduce Bronson Reed into the group. I'm gonna struggle between like differentiating when I say Bronson Reed and Braun Breaker. Could they not have picked anybody with a different name? Good lord, what are they gonna add Braun Strowman to this now?
They should. I mean, unfortunately, he's gone, but I mean, they should at this point. Can you imagine? Oh, dude. Can you imagine had we been stuck in a scenario like that where you really did get stuck with Bronson, Braun, and Braun? I think I would go crazy. But already with the two B's, it has me sounding like a sheep. I'm out here just going ba 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 because I'm trying to get some names out. But okay, so there's another thing that I'm curious about because throughout this little promo, and you said it was like 20 something minutes, and really the biggest standout was Paul Heyman putting over Bronson. But here's the thing, though. During this, we've been seeing, not just this week, but even in the past weeks, that there's been a lot of similarities or a lot of things that they're doing very similar with the presentation of Seth Rollins, kind of like what they used to do with Roman Reigns, where even Paul Heyman is saying, "Oh, hey, you guys got to acknowledge Seth Rollins," and he's doing the little prayer hands and putting him over like he's some sort of god. That's what he used to do with Roman Reigns. Do you like the fact that they're essentially inserting the exact same game plan or almost a very, very similar version of what you were seeing with Roman, but now with Seth? It just feels like, okay, we swapped him out, but now let's put this guy right on the stand.
I'm a big believer if it ain't broke, don't fix it. That was one of my favorite like times in WWE in the last like 5 years or so. Like the formation of the bloodline, seeing all of those guys walking around with a pompous as hell, confident Paul Heyman. And if we're running it again, I'm here for it. It does feel like different enough where it doesn't feel like it's like a complete carbon copy of it. Maybe Paul Heyman and Seth Rollins' relationship is a little bit of a carbon copy of the relationship of Paul Heyman and Roman Reigns, but Paul Heyman's relationship with everyone else in the group is fairly unique and different than what they ran with the Bloodline during the Thunderdome era and shortly after the Thunderdome era. Do I like it? Yeah, I am generally like glued to the screen when these guys are on the screen. I was hoping that we would get a name for the new faction. They kind of called themselves the Vision there for a second. They still refer to themselves as the Future a lot, so I still don't know. Like when you have a group this big and this dominant and this main event centric, you should probably give them a name.
I think they should. I like the Vision. I think that one's kind of cool. I think that name I'm sticking with. And I saw some people like they were throwing out so many different names, but the Vision, I'm with that. I like the sound of it. So we'll see where they take that. But here's the thing though. Seth Rollins has now officially qualified for the Money in the Bank. He defeated Finn Balor and Sami Zayn in the main event of the night. And it kind of was your boy Dominik Mysterio's fault because Dominik threw in the freaking chair and right in between Finn Balor and Seth Rollins. Seth Rollins, though, ends up getting up and curb stomping Finn Balor onto the actual chair. So they did it in a way where, yeah, it was Dominik Mysterio's fault, but he can also argue that that wasn't his intention for that to happen, that Finn Balor was supposed to grab the chair instead of being curb stomped onto it. So dang, that's going to continue to unravel. But another loss, unfortunately, another pin for Finn, no wins for Finn, and Seth Rollins moves on. So, looking at the pool of who we've got so far right now in this man's Money in the Bank, how are you feeling about Seth Rollins' chances? Because to me, it almost feels like he clears the board, Santi. I have a feeling Seth is winning this now based off of just him being in it.
I would be inclined to agree with you if one man didn't exist, who now is a professional just at running in at the end of shows. His name is CM Punk. By the way, you know, when he is such a giant popular asset and his best best attribute is the mic, why are we keeping him away from the mic for the past like 4 weeks just to do like a 1 minute run in there at the end of the show? Getting a little bit tiresome. I want to see like more of CM Punk, not just these little run-ins. I'm fully expecting CM Punk or Roman Reigns to screw over Seth Rollins. I actually don't think that Seth Rollins is winning. LA is a big market. I could absolutely see Roman Reigns returning at Money in the Bank to set up Roman versus Seth Rollins at SummerSlam. That would definitely be a big marquee match for this 2-night SummerSlam. That keeps Seth Rollins and his faction away from the title picture long enough to, you know, to continue to build this faction. But Seth Rollins is getting screwed out of this in some way, shape, or form by Punk or Roman Reigns. I see that clear as day.
Okay, so then because I was thinking, dude, the fact that he's in with this new stable, I thought it was a shoo-in that he might take this. Because right now, as of right now, you got Penta, who also qualified, and Santi, what I thought was a match of the freaking night.
Oh,
Can we please take a second
incredible.
and talk about this? This was
Yeah,
so good.
incredible. Why don't we, before we jump into it, why don't we get past the main event entirely? Like, is there anything
Okay.
else about the main event? Because I want to talk
Um,
about that Penta match.
CM Punk, what you just mentioned, the
Yeah.
fact that he hasn't had that much mic time for Punk, but I'm so stupid. You know, I fell for him not showing. I thought he wasn't going to be on today's show because it felt like one of those days where I
You
thought
got worked, brother. You got
I
worked,
did.
brother.
You know what the number one rule is too, and the chat reminded me of this: never believe Paul Heyman. And I got suckered in, and I believed Paul Heyman, but I also kind of assumed he wasn't going to be there because he had taken the tsunami. I thought he was going to have a day off, so I thought wrong clearly. But I was glad to see CM Punk come out because I felt like the crowd definitely needed that. I think they needed a CM Punk appearance there. But I mean, that was really how I felt about the main event.
Yeah, I wanted to just so we can move on from it. I hated that finish because I've seen it a million times. How many times have we seen Seth Rollins beat Finn Balor in literally like frame by frame that exact same way? either JD McDonough sliding the chair and then he gets stomped, Damian Priest sliding the chair, he gets stomped, Damian Priest sliding in the briefcase and then he gets stomped. That was literally the finish of their SummerSlam match, by the way. I've seen this finish so many damn times. They cannot find a creative way for Seth Rollins to beat Finn Balor. They've done this like 15 times. I'm exaggerating, but I've seen this too many damn times.
Okay, see, like, I mean, I don't know what to say. You're right. It's the truth. That's what we've seen over and over. But what did you say earlier? If it ain't broke, don't fix it. But I think this one's broke.
I think it's broke as hell.
This one's broke.
I think it's so broke it's homeless. Take this one out back. I don't want to see this.
Oh man. So all right, let's move past that. That's what we're getting. We'll see what happens at Money in the Bank and who the other two spots for the men end up being. But so okay, Penta, Dragon Lee, and Chad Gable. This was sick, man. I want to start off by saying this. We all knew, I think for the most part, that Penta was taking this victory because, hey, Chad Gable has already been announced for a match that exact same day with El Hijo del Vikingo on Worlds Collide.
Did you catch the spoiler they did?
Yes, Santi. They accidentally spoiled that it's for the title, that they haven't had the match yet between Alberto and Vikingo. And so they basically said like, oh yeah, it's for the title. And we're like, wait, what?
Yeah,
he's the champion since when?
To be fair, everyone and their dog knew that Alberto was not gonna go into Worlds Collide as the AAA champion.
It's kind of weird because right now what we're getting is like two versions of AAA. Like we're getting what they're doing right now, preparing for TripleMania and all of that. And then they have the version of WWE. Like we have two existing different foundations at the moment. So at some point that's going to have to merge into one. I don't know when, but we're not there.
Do you think we get main roster or NXT in TripleMania?
What do you mean? Like main roster guys from NXT there at the show?
Sorry, main roster like WWE and NXT having matches at TripleMania.
Oh shit. Well, I don't know if anything has really been announced for that show right now for TripleMania Regia. I forgot when it is, but I don't think much has been announced for that. That's like in 3 weeks. Like they have nothing announced, really, nothing really built to anything. It's almost like the Mexican side is almost running like a dead promotion right now. So I don't really know what's going on there. But if they do want to make it something worth tuning into, like a little extra, because it's going to have to be a little different, especially because you know how it is with AAA. Like they work so differently over there. Like it's chaos, it's madness. If things don't make sense, people just say that's TripleMania. Like AAA. Like you have no idea how many times I'll be on Twitter, and let's say the times that I have covered AAA on social media, people are like, "What the fuck is going on?" And we're like, "Dude, this is AAA." Like you take it for what it is, and it's so different from WWE that has this very structured formula, and all these things happen versus shit happens in AAA that doesn't even make sense. But that's the quirk of it. That's almost the appeal.
They have a guy named Hijo del Dr. Wagner Jr., which is literally just Dr. Wagner the Third. It's
I took it as the son of the sun. You know what I'm saying? Like the double son.
That's what it is. It's so confusing.
It's hilarious. So yeah, I do hope we do see that, because at some point we're gonna have to see, like I said, we're gonna have to see them on the same page here. So it's weird. I don't know how it's gonna work, and I guess they're figuring it out as it goes. Because here's the other thing that I should mention too, is that Santi, when they announced that Worlds Collide is going to be on YouTube, like I don't even think it's going to be on Peacock or anything else. I think it's just YouTube. It made me think to myself, like, what are truly the plans for this right now? Like, why wasn't there anything else in like lined up for them to be broadcasted? You see what I'm saying? Like, it feels very.
I think the idea is mass appeal in Mexico. I don't think that they're trying to bank on mass appeal. Well, I'm sure they want to get mass appeal like outside of Mexico and the United States, but putting zero paywall behind this, I think, is brilliant. to give as much access to the Mexican audience that is curious into this, so that they don't have to bootleg Netflix or find a way to get Peacock or anything like that. Just no paywall. It's free for everybody. You know what they say about drug dealers? First one's on the house. This is the first one's on the house here. I think that's what they're doing. I kind of like it. I like the idea of no paywall, just as easily accessible to everyone on the planet. Hey, here's our wares. Here's our crack cocaine for y'all.
Bro. We're all gonna be addicts by the end of it. So
And then
bad.
you know what we'll say? That's just AAA.
We're all gonna be like this. Great stuff today. But no, I think. See, I almost worried. I think I saw it in reverse, where I'm trying, because again, we still have no idea of how the show is going to be presented. So I kind of assumed that they were trying to appeal more so to like the Mexican American audience by basically showering it with all of the WWE insignia and all of that. So it's going to be an interesting balance, because as you know, in Mexico, the way it works is like you got two audiences essentially. You got your loyal locals that go to the lucha shows and they're big fans. It's embedded in the culture. That's what it is. And then you have the tourism side, because the tourism side, to go to Mexico and watch lucha libre, it is an experience. It's an experience. It's like going to France and going to the Eiffel Tower and eating macaroons and things like that. You go to Mexico, you have your tacos, you go watch lucha. So it basically, I'm curious to see how WWE's footprint on AAA, how that's going to essentially change that dynamic in Mexico, if it'll even change at all. And then also what that's going to look like when they are hosting events here in the United States. So there's just a lot of questions, at least that I feel I have right now about this partnership.
But hey, I don't have questions about that match. That match, the Penta, Dragon Lee and oh my God, I can't think. Chad Gable match was just fantastic. I said to my chat that that's my favorite weekly TV match, just behind the TLC match. Just behind the TLC match, I think that's my favorite weekly TV match that they've done this year. I thought it was absolutely brilliant. It was so good. There was like the scary moment of the Penta doing like the vertebreaker plus the package pile driver, but it looked like Chad Gable extended his neck as opposed to tucking his neck in. And it could have been real bad. But aside from that, man, like the work rate of this match was just insane. They included Vikingo in this, you know, to add a little bit of spice towards that. And there was a segment on the commercial break hyping up Vikingo and Chad Gable as well. But I thought that this match was brilliant. Like one of my favorite matches of the year.
I thought Dragon Lee was the MVP in this
So
match.
good. Yeah.
He went in there and he had something, not something to prove, but maybe a reminder, remind people, hey, I know you guys are not expecting me to win. I know you guys are expecting me to be the one to take the pin. I know that I'm not the one you guys are going to see in this match, but damn, I'm going to make sure that you guys are talking about me and that I have your attention. That dive that he did to the outside,
Like a
it was
lawn
like
dart.
a rocket ship.
Yeah, it was so good. So good. I love the sequence with Chad Gable where he does like this moonsault on Penta, and then Dragon Lee's like running at him, and then he like throws him into the turnbuckle. Is awesome. Just such a good match. We even got some blood. We had Chad Gable getting busted open from I think it's supposed to be the kick from Vikingo.
That's what I thought so too, because we saw he wasn't bleeding before then, and it was right after that you just saw that big gash. So like Chad Gable had a rough night. That spot, that weird spot on his neck, the blood. I mean, Chad Gable went through it today, but man, I loved this match. This was definitely, if you miss Raw today, just go and watch this one match and you can thank us later. All right. We got Josh D, by the way, who says, what do you think of Bronson Reed joining Rollins? Santi, I am so freaking happy. I'm like one of the biggest Bronson Reed fans here. And I just really thought that this was perfect for him. I was so bummed out when he got injured at War Games, because if you recall, during that time, he had, just finished getting a big win after on Seth Rollins. He had joined War Games, which was massive because, he was there with the new bloodline, a big storyline, and there with Roman and Punk and Sami and all these very high important people. So it felt like at this time when he was gaining so much momentum, to get injured and have that halted was unfortunate, but he came back in the best possible way with something that is hot at the moment.
I personally love it. Like if you're just simply asking, like, what do I think of it? I think it's great. I would like to see a bit more of a proper explanation, because I don't think that we fully got it, as to why Seth and Bronson Reed are all of a sudden okay. Is it really just that's the future? So I got to have the big scary guy.
It's respect, Santi. It's you earned my respect after, you beef with the
Yeah,
man,
fair
you
enough.
fight with the man. Hey, man, we settled this argument. Like, that's it. Like, the fact, because if you recall, Seth had defeated Bronson first, and then Bronson got his win back. So to me, the way that I see that is now Seth can be the first person to attest to the fact that you should be afraid of Bronson Reed, that everyone here should be afraid of him, because shit, he even took me out. And that was what
That's
Paul
fair.
said. So I guess that's how I see it, like respect.
I see it too.
Yeah, that kind of thing.
I definitely see it like that. I think it's kind of cool that both Braun Breaker and Bronson Reed just like complete bypass the mid card, just like right to the main event. Obviously, like Braun Breaker was in the mid card for a little bit, but like just like an immediate catapult, like right to the main event scene. It's great just seeing new faces in the main event scene moving forward.
I think they need to do that, dude. Like, we can't keep getting the same people over and over. So I'm thrilled about that. We got Isa David here, who says, did y'all notice WWE spoiled Vikingo winning the AAA mega title from Alberto Del Rio? I know Del Rio wasn't going to win, but dang, the disrespect. Yeah, exactly that. It's kind of wild, but I mean, that's where we're at right now. And it's going to be interesting to see them finally, not do stuff like that, but we'll see what happens. Bob Ross Jr. says, if you ever feel dumb, just know that there's a WWE news account trying to convince people that Brock Lesnar is coming back at SummerSlam. Oh, I see some of the most wild stuff on social media from WWE news accounts. My rule of thumb, Santi, is pick your top 3 that are most reliable and stick to those. If you're seeing stuff from some random wrestling site you've never heard of, just be a little bit more cognizant about the fact that they may be just lying.
Yeah, ignore all of those ridiculous sites. Ignore the one you have to ignore, Sean Ross Sapp. Oh my goodness. Just craziness over there. You don't want to listen to that. All right? You don't want to listen to that.
That's a fact, right? That's a fact. Just kidding, Sean. He's gonna come out here and be like, "Hey, y'all out here ruining my scoops."
Oh, that's. I was gonna say it's a bang on impression. It's not.
That is exactly what Sean sounds like to me. We got Lucky Charm here, who says Liv storms out of the clubhouse pissed after losing Dom, follows, and then in the main event he costs Finn on purpose. Definitely not accidental. We are way past that. To get back at Finn for having Rox Rox mess with Liv's match. Okay, so that's the other thing we need to get into, is that Liv Morgan returned today. Huge. Okay, she's back after having done a movie in Japan. She wasn't gone for that long, just a couple of weeks, but she's back. But she walked right in at the perfect time as Roxanne Perez was giving chicken nuggets over to Dominik Mysterio, as well as kind of caressing his shoulder. And so Liv walks in and she is not happy with this at all. It turns out Raquel has been keeping her posted on everything that's been going on while she's been gone. And later on, she finds herself in this match with Kairi Sane. And it's during this match that Roxanne comes out there. She kind of has a little bit of a confrontation with Raquel. And Raquel and Roxanne's confrontation distracts Liv Morgan, allowing Kairi to get the win. After this, instead of being mad at Roxanne, she was actually mad at Raquel. What'd you think of all of this?
I think we're running it again. The love triangle storyline of the summer. Dominik is innocent. He did nothing wrong there. He did not. He respectfully accepted the chicken nuggets, as any gentleman would. If anybody, whether they're interested in me or not, if they make me a platter of chicken nuggets, I'm going to politely accept. And that's what he did. He didn't give any weird looks. He didn't make any weird comments. And yet somehow the world is trying to villainize this man. This man was a gentleman just accepting free nuggets. And I'm sure that you would too. I'm curious where this is going to go, not just because of the Rox angle, because if you watch everything that's going on, all of the dissension that's happening, Finn Balor is in the background laughing his ass off. So this is exactly what Finn Balor wants. And I do assume that this is a setup eventually for Finn Balor and Dominik Mysterio, maybe at SummerSlam perhaps, for that IC title. And it starts here with Finn Balor trying to create divide between all of the people that more so aligned with Dominik Mysterio. The Rock side of things, by the way, shout out to Kairi. I didn't think she was going to win that. I really thought she was going to.
Yeah, I didn't either.
I really. So I was like, okay, maybe they're making up for it. Maybe because she wasn't supposed to take the pin last week, they give her a W this week. In terms of like, I find it a little bit hard to believe that Liv wouldn't also be mad at Roxanne Perez here. That I guess she said, yeah, you're the veteran, you should know better. But Liv Morgan her character is petty. That's her character. Wouldn't she be petty against the woman that's very clearly making moves at her trophy of a man?
Well, okay, first of all, for once, I will agree with you that Dominik Mysterio didn't necessarily do anything with Roxanne today. He was kind of just taking the chicken nuggets. So
Just
for
say
one,
didn't
for one,
necessarily. Just why can't you just fully defend this man? Why do you have to add these caveat to your words?
once, okay? One time, I'm giving it to you. One time, I agree. Dominik Mysterio didn't do that much. Okay, fine. Okay, fine. That platter of chicken nuggets looked really freaking good. Okay, I get it, but that doesn't mean that the week before that, he wasn't giving the googly eyes to Roxanne. Because
That
the
is
week
just such
before
an
that,
assumption.
he was giving the googly eyes to Roxanne. That shit was everywhere. I logged on to Twitter, Santi, and my whole feed was images and videos of Dominik gawking at Roxanne Perez. So he liked it, even if it was brief.
This is the era that we live in of social media. If a man even so much as looks in the direction of a woman, all of a sudden he's a creep. He's a weirdo. All right. This is a cancel culture that we need to end. All right. We need to end this. All right. Just let Dom be Dom. Can't he just be who he is?
Yeah, and you know who Dom is?
At every step.
You know who Dom is? He's Dirty Dom for a reason. Dirty Dom for a reason. So, hey.
Can he not change his ways? Can he not be given a chance, an opportunity? See, you are the problem.
Here's the thing.
You are the problem.
Like Taylor Swift saying, X marks the spot where we first fell in love. And now that is where we're at right now with freaking Dom and Liv. And she's seen exactly what happened with Rhea is now happening with her.
We'll see. I will agree to disagree on this.
Okay. All right. Anyways, so with that I don't even know what I'm talking about anymore. Where were we going with this? Where was I talking about? Oh yeah, I kind of want to see more of. I want to see more of this. I'm enthralled. I know that everyone's kind of, maybe thinking, oh, are they just running back this love story? But I think everyone knows that this may lead to Liv Morgan versus Roxanne Perez at Evolution 2, which is finally happening. It's finally announced. And we're going to start building our way to that. I think right now, I'm expecting, just based off of what we're getting at the moment, I'm expecting Liv and Roxanne, maybe possibly Io and Rhea. I'm not even too confident on that one. Just throwing it out there. What else do you think feels like that's?
I'm sure we'll get a Stephanie Vaquer match.
Yeah, we got to for sure. For sure. I just don't know against who right now.
Yeah, I can't really think of anybody. Maybe I don't know. Maybe nothing that where you think like she would lose. Just could be a fun showcase match versus like a Jada Parker or something. Just a one-on-one match.
That's fair. I think Jada Parker's a good shout because Jada Parker has a huge fan base too.
Yeah.
She's very popular too. So I feel like that could be a good shout. Thank you so much, Lucky Charm. We got Dominic Cena here who says, what is it with Seth aligning himself with Bronze? Strowman in 2019, Breaker and Reed this year. Thoughts? Also, am I crazy for saying that Saturday night's main event had one of the best American crowds of 2025? That was hard to say because earlier this year they were overseas and they had some great crowds. Where were they at? London, Spain.
Well, he said best American crowd.
Oh yeah, sorry. Oops, my bad.
Yeah.
I can't think of the American crowds. They're all blur. They're all the exact same crowd to me.
They're all just what? We want tables in random matches.
When were we? I was just hearing that chant today. What match was it? I forgot what match. I was hearing that. Someone was chanting
all the triple threat matches, like every single triple threat match in the Money in the Bank qualifiers. I've been hearing we want table chants.
Oh, it was today when I was watching Battleground. There was a match. I forget which one. Oh, I forgot which match I was watching for Battleground today. And the crowd was chanting we want tables. And I was thinking to myself, this match isn't necessarily calling for tables, but everybody still wants them. Whatever. Anyways, yeah.
It's probably Tony D Stacks.
Was it that one? Maybe. I don't remember which one it was, but I remember thinking it. Anyways, in regards to the Bronze, I don't know. Maybe he just has. Oh, and I was gonna say he just likes people with B's because he also is Becky Lynch. Becky.
Could be
Being
that.
Braun?
Yeah,
I don't
could be
know.
that.
All right, Dominik, thank you so much. We got Casey Poole here who says Karrion Kross appearance tonight reminds me of when Santi gatekeeps carrying from Denise after making fun of Sancho for liking him on months on. Here's the thing, wrestling is cool. So here's the thing, Santi. I'm sorry, but I'm still not even trying to pass this gate right now. I'm okay being on the outside, okay? I'm
You could
fine with it.
That's fine. Outside looking in when you're trying to get in to get nice and cozy and warm with Carrion on one arm and wonderful Scarlet on the other. We'll say you're not allowed in. You get to stand and watch from the outside while we're all having fun on the Carrion Cross first class train to the main event scene.
Sure. You know what? When that happens, I will applaud you. I will applaud you. We got Dominic Cena here who says, I also thought Santi being the reason a lot of fans didn't get to enjoy Saturday night's main event. Even he said it was a show worth missing. Also using spaces today. You use spaces today?
I think Dominic is talking that he's the one that always sends with no spaces to save money.
I'm sorry. I thought you were using Twitter spaces.
No. I don't even know. Yeah, no.
Wait,
never.
are Twitter spaces even still a thing?
I think so. I think they are.
No, and I was like, I was about to ask you, what was your space about? Sorry, I completely read that so wrong today. Thank you, Dominic. We got Sin City Saint here who says, I fiend, really fiend, enjoy fiend, when fiend, you fiend, and fiend, Santi fiend, team fiend up, fiend, push, Karrion Kross, fiend. Sin City saying you're wilding out here. Thank you so much for the super chat, though, and for the effort in spelling fiend over and over. All right, Casey Pools here says Braun has to be tag team names. You know how usually it's like person's name and friends? It could literally be Seth and Bronze as their team names. We're working on it. JJ Castillo here says, question for you both. What's your dream match you want to see for Evolution 2? Also, how do you feel about WWE having too many PLEs in the coming months? Yeah, it feels like a lot, Santi. I think coming off of this week, I'm definitely feeling a little bit overwhelmed. I can't complain. Gives me work to do, but I do feel a little overwhelmed.
JJ, go to my YouTube channel, Mr. Santi's app. That was today's video. It was a rant about just too many damn shows for the rest of the summer. July 12th is crazy. July 12th is All In. Saturday night's main event. Presumably the Great American Bash happening at the same time as All In. Then we have Evolution the day after. So great. Okay, so it's properly confirmed dates is July 12th, Saturday night's main event at night, Evolution, 7 p.m. Sunday night. But then they also said that on that weekend, the Atlanta takeover, that the Great American Bash will also be on that day. And I don't see it being Sunday afternoon or Sunday morning. I think they're just going to put it up against All In.
Jesus Christ.
They're going to, right?
I hate it.
They're absolutely going to put it up against All In.
Santi, I was trying to figure out my schedule because I was trying to hit up All In. I was trying to hit up all these things. And now I'm just here like, I should just stay home. Like, what's happening?
Yeah, they haven't confirmed which of the days of the weekend Great American Bash will be on. But with WWE, like, clearly counter-programming, like, they're not even trying to hide it. I could see them putting Great American Bash literally exact same start time as All In.
I mean, God, it was kind of rough. I feel like yesterday, usually I feel like my streams are very like positive, like there's never really that much drama or anything. But yesterday, streaming Double or Nothing while Battleground was going on, oh my God, the chat it was wild in there. It was wild in, and I was just like, shit, like this never happens. This never happens unless the shows are going up against each other. So it's hard.
Well,
but
the last 3 Double or Nothings, it's been Double or Nothing versus Battleground.
Has it been like that?
Yeah,
I've just been watching Double or Nothing. Oh, because I've been at the events. That's why.
Yeah, so,
and this was the first time I did a watch along. Oh, shit.
3 years ago, I'm like, oh, which one do I watch? I watched Double or Nothing. It sucked. That was one of the worst Double or Nothings ever.
Is that the Las Vegas one where the crowd was dead?
It was, I think it was,
probably.
It had like a really great, the 4 pillars fatal 4-way. That was a
like
really good match.
Good match. Yeah.
But that was such a bad show. So then next year I'm like, fool me twice. I'm going to watch Battleground. Then Battleground was ass. That was the one out of the UFC Apex Arena. That was such a bad show.
Oh, yeah.
Just boring, forgettable. And then this year I picked Battleground again, but at least Battleground was good. They were both good.
Yeah. Oh my God. That's so funny. Well, you're right. It really is a lot of wrestling. We got Christian here who says, did someone say bees?
Don't acknowledge it. Don't acknowledge it. My chat has been going crazy about bees. They've been using bee puns for wrestlers. We were talking about Alberto Del Rio, my chat was spamming Alberto Del Rio with I don't know. They're obsessed
You
about
mean
bees right
bees
now.
like buzz bee or the letter
Yes, like
B?
buzz bees. Yeah.
Oh.
When you said something like Seth Rollins and the two bees, my chat went crazy. My chat went absolutely crazy.
Oh, and then when I said Seth has a thing for bees.
Yes, they were going insane for that.
Oh, that's amazing. Okay, well, that's great. Okay. Thank you so much, Christian. We got Sleaze Boy here who says, Que chismosa Raquel es. Liv Morgan needs to take Dirty Dom to Telemundo's Laura to kick his dirty butt. Always remember chicks before Dominik. Hey, yo, shout out to Laura because she used to, I used to watch all her shows, Santi.
Yeah, we're gonna this love triangle is gonna appear on Primer Impacto.
Oh, yo, let's go. I mean, this is a throwback for me, guys. This is a throwback. Thank you, Sleaze Boy. We got Hassan Batla here who says, for a moment, I thought maybe Finn had a chance, just a moment, however, and it slipped away very fast.
You thought Finn had a chance. When will you guys learn?
Bob Ross Jr. says, not gonna lie, I wouldn't mind if Seth Rollins or Alexa Bliss became two-time Money in the Bank winners. Yeah, I mean, I'm cool with either or, honestly. Sin City Saint here says, division or division. Sorry, I like double entendres. Entendres, am I saying that right? Entendres?
Entendres. It's a French
Entendres.
word. It's a French
I'm
word.
not saying
En
it's.
français, double entendre.
I don't speak France.
What was that? That was like a French Elvis Presley.
Wait, parlez-vous anglais? That means, do you speak English? I think.
Parlez-vous, yeah, parlez-vous anglais, yeah.
I don't know. I just know.
I speak a little bit of French. We have to take it in elementary school in Canada.
Oh, yeah, that makes sense. Okay, yeah, that makes sense. I know no French, so yeah, I'm out the door. The only French I know is French fries. Oh, that's so bad. I'm gonna get canceled. All right, Nishi Emmanuel here says, I agree Roman will cost Seth and Knight might win. I feel like LA Knight's always the guy people think is gonna win every year, and then every year it doesn't happen.
It's true. It's true. He's the Finn Balor of Money in the Banks.
Oh, shit. That's sad. Anthony Giuliano says, you think Roman will cost Seth Rollins that Money in the Bank? That was something Santi brought up. So, yeah, I think you have a point there, Santi. Steven Marchuli here says, could LA Knight win Money in the Bank, then turn heel or cash in? I don't think LA Knight is a heel. I'm not really feeling it. So I think LA Knight as a babyface works best, especially if he did have, well, the Money in the Bank always works better with a heel. But I don't know. Like, why would he turn heel? What would be the reason? You know, that's what I would want to know. So, Steven, it could happen. But again, like I said, every year people think he's going to win. Unraveled Gaming here says, put U.S. title on Julia, going nowhere on Zelina Vega. Unfortunately, after that match with Chelsea Green and breaking her nose and the botch 619, I'm sorry. I would just, it wasn't great. We got Soul Killer 256 here who says, guess who's going to Fanatics Fest New York City and getting a pic with John Cena? This guy. Woo! Soul Killer 256. I will see you there at Fanatics Fest. I'm going for the first time ever. I've never been to Fanatics Fest, so I'm excited. Champ39 says, hey, Denise, I made some monies tonight, and here is my gift to 5 lucky people. Good night, Champ. Congratulations again on all of your betting success and for sharing the wealth and gifting 5 DWO memberships. Very generous of you, Champ39. All right, so we got to continue on with Monday Night Raw. I want to go ahead and get into, I guess, Rusev and Akira Tozawa. This was super quick, bro. Rusev wins.
There's like nothing. Sheamus comes out. That's really that's all there is to talk about. Sheamus and Rusev is that's just gonna be a good match. Like, that's gonna be fun. I feel like, to me, the talking point is, how is Aleister Black being used so much better than Rusev? And I don't even think that they're killing it with Aleister Black or anything.
I was about to say, I wouldn't know about so much, just slightly better.
I think it's way better. At the very least, we get Aleister Black like doing things and not just like being stuck with Alpha Academy. I don't know what they should have just started with this. I don't know why they even went with Alpha Academy being like some stepping stone. Like, I kept saying, like, there's nothing impressive about beating up Alpha Academy. Everyone has beat up Alpha Academy. Why are we why is this being used as a mechanism to sell Rusev to us? that doesn't work. It doesn't work. So this is where they should have started. This is where Rusev's debut should have been. We're weeks behind on this. We should have just started here.
Yeah, I don't know. Do you think this is a Rusev problem or a creative problem?
Creative. We haven't seen Rusev do anything of substance. It's hard to for fans to get engaged when your opponent is Alpha Academy. You can't really do much with that. Sheamus, on the other hand, now I think we can safely say this is where Rusev can sink or swim. Now, if this fails, if this is bad, if people don't get behind it, then we can start legitimately having a conversation. Is this Rusev? Because I don't think that we can give Rusev a fair shake based on just his time feuding with Alpha Academy. Now, if he sucks, now if it fails, then we can have that conversation. I just don't see it being bad with Sheamus. Sheamus is just such a good old reliable.
No, I think this one's going to be one of those hard-hitting matchups, and that's what it needs to be in order to, and I think with Sheamus, he will make sure to bring his A game on that, and I think Rusev really needs this because I'm wondering if maybe they were just banking on the idea that, hey, a former WWE wrestler who is on the AEW side came back to us, and let's just use that to get the buzz going for him, and unfortunately, it just wasn't enough, and I feel bad, but it's like if you didn't have buzz in AEW and then you go to WWE, it's not going to be the same.
You keep saying buzz and it's making my chat go crazy.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Buzz is one of my favorite words. So just speak up every time you hear me say buzz.
It is a little 50% of League of Nations getting together, though.
Yeah, I've forgotten to mention that. That was another nice little throwback there. Sorry. I'm stuck with the B stuff now. All right, we got JJ Castillo here who says, you guys missed my other questions. It's all good. What's both your dream match for Evolution? Name 2 or 3 matches you want to see. I'm so sorry, JJ. I think for me, I had mentioned earlier, I think I want to see, I think the ship sailed. I'm still going to throw it out there with Bianca and Rhea, but I think that ship sailed. I'm not realistically expecting it. And I would like to see, let me see, you mentioned Jordan and Jade. You mentioned, you know what? Actually, they could run back Jordan. They could actually run back Jordan and Jada now that I think about it. I know you mentioned it with Stephanie, but they could also run that one back. Maybe Rhea and Io, Liv and Roxanne. What else am I missing?
I think I would like to see Naomi versus Tiffany Stratton for the women's WWE title at Evolution.
That's good. I like that. Thank you so much, JJ. And I'm so sorry we missed that earlier. Thank you. We got David Montalvo here who says, give me Ron Cena versus EGA at Worlds Collide. What? I can't. We got Bob Ross Jr. here who says, I'm so confused with the IWC logic. Like, apparently Julia was buried because she got pinned by Rhea, but now she's overpushed due to the fact that she won a match against Zelina Vega and Charlotte Flair on Friday. I would say rule number 1, Bob Ross, is be selective of who you're listening to on social media. I've learned that you're never going to please everyone. That's just how it is. You're never going to please everyone. And there's always going to be 2 different sides to each and every single argument that you could possibly have. No one agrees on social media on anything. Santi, do you like to dip your pizza in ranch?
No.
You see what I mean? Can't agree on anything.
Do you?
Fuck yeah. I love pizza and ranch.
Oh my, gross. Pizza's already delicious. Why?
Santi, you're missing out. Chat, if you love pizza and ranch, please let Santi know, let me know, because that's my thing.
Yeah. Here's the thing. IWC thinks being pinned is getting buried and winning is being overpushed. They suck, dude. Don't listen to them. Don't put ranch on pizza.
Please do it. Do it. You know who else really likes to do it? Jey Uso. Jey Uso and I. Yeah, we spoke. One time I was interviewing him, and I forgot how we got to the conversation, but he said, "I can't wait, something pizza." And then he goes with a big old tub of ranch, and I went, "Oh shit, you also like pizza and ranch? Can't believe it."
I don't see it. Maybe. I don't know. That sounds gross.
No, it's delicious. It's life-changing. Thank you. No, I'm serious. It's a life-changing experience. Thank you, Bob Ross Jr. All right. See, there's a bunch of people who are already arguing about this. We got Josh D here who says, I kept thinking Lana would return and attack Maxine. I mean, they look like twins, so that could probably be the war right there. You stole my face. Thank you, Josh. And all right, the triple threat match, the New Day defeat the War Raiders, the Creed brothers. Did this rock your boat at all, Santi? Because my boat is sinking during this.
No, they immediately like made me lose interest in that match by going with that really annoying stipulation of like only 2 people in the ring at the same time, and you can tag in anybody from any team.
Mm.
I hate that style of a tag match. This tag division continues to lag behind the Friday Night SmackDown. This match got decent in the last like 3 minutes, and then it ended. You know, they finished it when it was getting good, so it never really got to reach like a proper climax. This is a wholly forgettable match. I think the most interesting thing is that the New Day pinned the guys that they were supposed to be aligned with. Maybe that sets something further down the line for the Creed brothers, but as of right now, this did not move the needle at getting me interested in the Raw tag team division.
Yeah, I second that. We got Casey Poole here who says we don't serve ranch with pizza on the Karrion Cross train. Well, on my train, the one that Jey Uso is also on, we do dip our pizza in ranch. Yeet.
All right.
See, you had no comments. See, Santi, I win this one. All right, we got Jey Uso and Gunther segment, and I think I kept saying this during my chat, but I'm like, yo, this is a song and dance number that we know so well. I could not get interested in this again because it is the exact same promo we were hearing before WrestleMania, the exact same promo we were hearing before their Saturday night's main event match. We've heard this so many times. I don't even know what to say.
Yeah, I liked Gunther's promo. I thought Jay forgot his words. I'm pretty sure there were numerous times where he was just kind of waiting on Gunther for a cue, because he would like say half a sentence, stop, walk side to side, pace, and then like finish the sentence.
He does that though. I've always said this, but I notice if you pay close attention to this, Jey Uso takes the longest to start a promo. He'll hold the mic there for a very, very long time and then get into the promo. And I'm not kidding you. Like notice this. Like it takes him a very long time.
Yeah.
I think that's just his style.
Yeah. I didn't think the Jey Uso promo was good. I thought the Gunther one was good, but you're right. Like in terms of substance, it's like been there, done that, seen this already. Yeah. I mean, I really don't have much to say about this. Do you? Like, is there anything else that we need to
say?
Yeah.
There's nothing to say. I made a silly mistake and I thought the match was today. I didn't realize that the match between them was after Money in the Bank.
Yeah.
I actually thought it was after Saturday night's main event for whatever reason. So I just got my dates crossed. We got Stephen Marchuli here who says Bianca versus Jade at Evolution 2. It could happen. That would be a pretty big matchup. We still don't know what's going on between them. So it's a possibility.
Bianca's coming back next week. She is coming back next week. So I think it's on the board, Stephen.
Thank you, Stephen. All right. And on the board, we got, Becky Lynch. Her name starts with the B. Becky Lynch and Lyra Valkyria, they have a segment here. And so this one, I thought the biggest thing here, so they're going back and forth, throwing shots at each other. Becky Lynch was hella savage, though, with this, Santi, because she started saying about her hot husband, Seth Rollins, and how Lyra Valkyria has a freaky, weird-looking fiance. And I thought, dude, no, that is so low. that is so low. Santi, I would throw down if someone said that to me.
Yeah, no, that was savage. And it was funny from a hypocritical standpoint, because then they're talking about like how like, oh, see, this is what happens when you get too personal, Lyra. Meanwhile, she just talked about how dweeby and ugly her husband was. But this was fine. I like the interaction between the two. I like the promo. I just can't get behind the weird stipulation that they added to this, that you have to raise my hand if I win. I don't know. How do you feel about that?
And then also, if she loses, she will never challenge for the title again to Lyra Valkyria. Well, Lyra Valkyria is holding it. I think that part where she said you have to raise my hand made me think that Lyra is winning again. That
Hmm.
little stipulation made me think that, because I just don't see it in the cards where Lyra would do that. And I think Lyra just needs this so much more right now but Becky's made. She's Becky Lynch. She's the man. She's made already. I felt them adding this made me feel like Lyra's taking that. That's what I felt when they mentioned this whole when I win, you raise my hand up.
Yeah, I'm still kind of 50-50. I think that Becky could still potentially win this and just create a really annoying, obnoxious character out of this. Like keeping other women down. We'll see though. I know that we still have Bailey in the equation that could maybe come back in this match and be a difference maker in some way, shape, or form. Attack one or the other. Who knows? But I actually see a world where Becky Lynch wins this.
Yeah. Damn. But what if she just went this whole time with, this is the new Irish girl who can't beat me? There's nothing worse than someone coming out here who's exactly like you, but younger and doing better and beating you. That would be
Yeah.
Lyra.
And that's what the promo was, right? Like when Lyra's like, I've never had a problem raising the hand of a woman that's better than me, but that's never gonna be you. That was a sick line. That was cold.
You see, that's why I think, I don't know, but we'll see. All right, we got Sin City Saint here, says, have they ever done a triple threat tag team match where 3 teams and 3 in the ring at the same time? Oh, I have a bad memory, but I'm gonna say yes.
I'm sure it's happened. I mean, you're gonna look at the TLC. Obviously, that's a different situation, but like that's all the guys in there at the same time.
D. Martin Fifth says Jay Uso was referencing to dipping Chicago deep dish pizza and ranch. No, he meant all pizzas, D. Martin.
Wrong.
All pizzas. All of them. All right. And I think that's basically, yeah, we're done. That's it, bro. That was Monday Night Raw for today. Kind of actually, we got way more than I honestly originally anticipated, Santi. At first I thought, nothing really happened. And then once we got into the nooks and crannies, I thought, oh shit, things did happen.
Yeah, we really dove into like AAA. We're just like, this is the AAA and Raw post show.
Yeah, that's true. That is true. All right, guys. Well, as always, thank you guys so much for watching, for supporting. Before we go, Santi, please tell the people where they can check out all of your videos and everything that you're doing.
You can find me on the Mr. Santi's App YouTube channel. Alternatively, you can just Google Santi's App and pick whatever social media platform you prefer to use on a daily basis. I promise you, I'm probably there.
Okay, well, I'm fine. Guess what? I'm back on Facebook with my new sad little page, Santi. Do you want to see my sad little page? I'm down
pathetic.
to
Oh,
1.3.
no.
I just started my new
Have you
Facebook page.
given up completely on getting the old one back? Like,
My case is still open. Meta just
okay.
stopped responding to me. And basically, like, I spoke with a lawyer about all of this. And, like, because basically what the hacker did, so my channel had 117,000 followers and I was getting like a shit ton of views. Like, it took me a while to grow that, right? And then, so when the hacker took my channel, what they did to confuse Meta, first of all, they took out because I was verified on there. They stopped my subscription. They stopped the subscription, kicked me out as admin, then took my channel and merged it with another channel. So it
Wild.
changed the channel ID and it changed the channel creation date. You know how you can see that on Facebook? Change that. I checked Chat GPT and it basically says that that's what hackers do. They merge your channel and they do this so that Meta doesn't track your channel. So basically, not only am I proving, hey, this channel is mine, I'm also trying to prove the existence of the channel now, that it once existed at this point, which is ridiculous. I've done everything. I sent my documentation, I sent my IDs, I sent invoices, I sent literally everything that I have. And Meta, I mean, I was on the phone with them and I spoke with a really nice gentleman actually, and he basically gave it to me straight and basically told me, like, unless you get a court order, you're basically screwed out of luck. I spoke with a lawyer, and guess what they were trying to charge me? $15,000 to $25,000 just to handle this case. And it wasn't even necessarily going to guarantee that, one, everything got solved, and two, that I would even get my page back. So all of this led to my one and only option, which was to create a brand new page and start from the very beginning.
That's wild. Well, we're going to get that page to the 100K.
So that's where I'm at
quick.
right now. Denise Salcedo, Denise's version, because my page was stolen.
You dweebs making B jokes. All right. Go follow this page. All right. Go follow that page. Yes, she said new beginnings. Yes, new beginnings. Be part of the new beginnings and go follow the new page.
Yes, please, guys. I'm sadly desperate at this point. It's very, very sad, but I'm hoping I post lots of wrestling content, of course, interviews, news, everything news, you name it. It'll go up there. So hoping for the best and we'll see what happens. But other than that, subscribe to the channel and we'll be back here next Monday for another episode of Monday Night Raw. Thank you, everybody. Bye.
Goodbye.